If you're suffering from pain on the outside of your hip and it's worse with activities such as long walks, laying on that side, or getting it from a prolonged sitting, there's a good chance you're suffering from something called gluteal tendinopathy, more known as gluteal bursitis, where that tendon on the outside of your hip is inflamed or degenerated. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Dr. Zach, and we're here at Performance Sport and Spine in Seattle, Washington. In today's video, we'll discuss why you don't want to stretch and irritate that tendon, but find positions that reduce compression and then gradually strengthen the tendon and control pelvis. The pain is going to be primarily on the outside or lateral aspect of the hip, but it has been shown to radiate into the posterior buttocks or down your leg, but rarely past your knee. One thing to note is it won't have any pins or needles, so that's how you differentiate it from nerve pain. It's most common in women over the age of 40. It's estimated that 1 in 4 women that are middle-aged will suffer from this condition, but anyone can get it. And it's caused by where that tendon is compressed and overloaded. Now, this condition is caused by mechanical overload, so placing more load on the tendon than it currently can handle. So if you think about the last few weeks or months, there's a good chance you started a walking program or maybe an exercise class. Just doing more and that tendon gets irritated. Now, the tendon, once it gets irritated, doesn't like tension and compression, which is why things like laying on your side, sitting cross-legged, going on long walks, or stretching that hip really irritates it because you're doing both of those. So the first thing we want to do with this tendon is reduce positions and activities that irritate it. And the second is strengthening that tendon. And then third is improving biomechanics. We don't want the pelvis to kind of tilt in and add compression to that tendon. Now for the postures and positions to modify. So first is sitting. We don't want to have our legs crossed or our knees touch together as we show you here. We want our feet shoulder width apart and make sure that chair is about 90-90. We don't want it too high or too low. Next is standing. Again, feet shoulder width apart or wider with your knees pretty straight. Don't have your feet together or leaning to the side or sinking into your hip with the chair. For sleeping, the best position is to be on your back with a pillow between your knees. If you are going to sleep on your side, make sure the pillow is between your knees and the good hip is on the upside. Don't sleep on the downside of the painful hip. I highly recommend if you have this condition and sleeping is your biggest issue, get a good mattress topper. It can be a game changer. For walking, we want to have our feet shoulder width apart or wider. Don't cross midline. If you have more questions about this, here's a different video we go into more detail. And then lastly is stairs. Make sure you use the opposite hand on the guardrail to kind of help hold yourself up. And as you step up, really push that leg through and don't use your hip to let it collapse. Try to think of that pelvis and that hip as a 90-90, not collapsing in. If you found this video beneficial so far, really appreciate if you'd like it and subscribe to our channel. We're also excited to announce that we've recently come out with a Gluteal Tendinopathy Rehab program that you can purchase. That's going to tell you everything and more that you ever wanted to know about how to get this condition better, what to do, what not to do, and how to progress, understand pain, and track your progress. If so, check out the link below. For the exercises, there's going to be 3 groups from level 1, the easiest, to level 4, the hardest. Start with level 1 and then progress. It typically takes about 1 to 3 weeks per group, but progress as you can. Here's some progression criteria. You need to feel safe doing it, feel strong, and the pain should be very mild or gone and not worse the next day. There'll be a link in the Dropbox so you can have an image if you want to copy it or print it. We're going to tag it to the very first comment so you know exactly where to get it. Let's start with the exercises. Hip hike, holding onto a chair or a canter. We're going to hike this hip up to the ceiling, 1, 2, and then down 1, 2 to the starting position. Try to use your hands and lean as little as possible. So hike up, 1, 2, feel tension, and then return to the starting position. Again, hike up, 1, 2, pause, return to the level 1 of this group is going to be just the wall squat. So squatting down against the wall into a position. We're going to hold for 20 seconds or to tolerance, and then progress. Third group is to strengthen the calf. So we're going to start with assisted double calf raise. So raise your legs straight up towards the ceiling and come down. Now I want you to make sure that you're keeping your knees straight and we're driving straight up towards the ceiling, pause, and return to the starting position. Don't let your body bend forward and don't let your knees. Lock your knees out, drive straight up, feel tension in your calves. Level 2 is unassisted, so without a chair or a wall, we're gonna hike our hip up, 1, 2, and then tap our toe down, 1, 2. Try to lean as little as possible, hike up, 1, 2, come down, tap your toe. Try to keep your weight as even as you can on the other foot, hike up, 1, 2, pause, and return to the starting position. Level 2 is the slow tempo chair squat. So sitting down into our hips, 1, 2, pause, and then driving your legs up, 1, 2. Keep your weight over your middle foot, and I suggest that you have your body against the wall, so in case you need stability, you can use it, but try to do this without any additional support, but have it there if you need it. Two is going to be the calf raise with toe tap. So raising up with our calves, heels down, toes up. Raising up on our calves, pause, return to the starting position, toes up. You should feel tension in the back of your calves now, and as you bring down, you should feel tension in the front of your calves as you lift your toes up. And remember to keep your calves straight and don't lean with your body. Level 3 is the hip swing. So hike your hip up, 1, 2, swing forward and back, return to the starting position. Again, hike up, 1, 2, swing forward and back, and return to the starting position. You can be by a wall in case you need it, but the whole point of this is to do this unsupported and swing your hip. Level 3 is a staggered version. So bringing our right foot back to start, we're gonna squat down, 1, 2, pause, then drive up with our legs. Really make sure as you go down, you're loading your hips, and as you stand up, you're keeping your torso upright and drive with your legs and your hip rather than leaning forward and pulling with your back. If your back is tensing, you're using your back too much. So sit down and back, pause, and then drive up with our legs. Single leg assisted, so drive up with our calf, pause, and then return to the starting position. Drive up with our calf, pause. Now you may want to find your body's kind of rocking forward, so try not to do that and go straight up, pause, and then return to the starting position. Use your hands as little as possible. Staggered wall sit, so with your back against the wall and your feet staggered, we're gonna squat down into a position and hold. You can adjust the depth to make it more challenging. Hold for the time we've shown you. At some point, if you want, you can kind of move your feet and do a single leg. It's quite challenging, so I recommend staggered first for a while and then progress to the single leg. Level 4, the step up. Start with about a 5-inch step or a stair. Foot up, driving with that top foot up, 1, 2, pause, and then return to the starting position. As you step up, really try to think about keeping that hip tall and not letting your pelvis tilt on the other side. Now, first, if you need to have a chair or something to help yourself, that's fine, but the whole point over time is to do this unassisted and really loading that hip and keeping your pelvis level. Level 4 is just assisted with a weight single leg. So driving up with our calf, hold a light weight in one hand, use your other hand to support. Make sure you use your calf and not lean your torso forward. I recommend starting light with a 3 or 5 pound weight and then progress as necessary. Lastly, we want to talk about dosage and pain. So think of Goldilocks. The porridge was too cold, just right, or too hot. Same thing applies to tendon rehab. We want the dosage that's just right. So these exercises are very helpful, but if we say 2 sets of 5 and it's a little too painful, you gotta wait till you're back to baseline and start 2 sets of 3. You gotta find that right dosage or porridge to start with and then increase and incrementally increase. Try to go from 2 sets of 5 to 2 sets of 7, not from 2 sets of 5 to 2 sets of 10. The second part of this is pain. When is it safe and when are you causing damage? So again, back to that baseline. If you have a 4 out of 10 pain and you do exercises and there's a little mild irritation, but it's not too bad, and it's gone the next morning, the 24-hour rule, that's a green light, that's safe. Now if you do exercises and you have a 4, and then it spikes to a 6, and that night you're having trouble sleeping, and you wake up and you're like, man, now I'm having to limp, you simply did too much. You need to wait as many days as it is to get back to baseline, and then start with less. So again, find that right dosage and then progress.